Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today we're doing a quick little podcast because we're advertising the 3D or 2D Movie Club number 2.
Ooh.
So, we did say this was going to be a seasonal thing, and this is technically for the fall. So, just in case you did not, were not listening before, because you never know when people start listening to the podcast. Basically, we put out a selection of movies, and you vote. And whatever movie wins, then we talk about it on the podcast. And it doesn't have to be a 3D movie; it could be a 2D movie. If it's not a 3D movie, we'll talk about the potential. Would it have converted to a good 3D movie? Would it look good in 3D? You know, we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about it with spoilers. So this is the second one. We did this previously for Mad Max Fury Road, and we did this back in the spring, early summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's somehow a tie, the patrons on Patreon will break the tie, but I don't think there's going to be a tie this time because we're doing something interesting, Jake.
What are we doing, Adolf?
We're doing ranked choice voting.
Woohoo! Take that, American Idol.
Take that, American Republic democracy that was founded in the 1700s. No electoral college for us.
Yeah, we don't need no stinking electoral college.
All right, so we're going to have this open. We're recording this on December 3rd, and we're going to post it on December 3rd. And we're going to have 10 days to vote. December 13th at 12 a.m. Central Standard Time will be it. I'll close it off and after December 13th. So I'm not going to stay up till midnight. So whenever I wake up is when I will close it down. So we're going to say for the purposes 12 a.m. But, you know, I'm not going to be awake at 12 a.m. on December 12th going into the 13th. Just being honest with you. So, what movies can the people pick from? We're going to talk about each movie very, very, very briefly because we want to give the opportunity for the movie people to vote. But we're going to go in random order. Now, these are movies that we all picked. I picked, you picked, Krista picked it, New Jake picked it, and Kristen picked it. So, we're going to go in random order. First up is Galaxy Quest.
Oh, that's a great choice. Greatest Star Trek movie ever.
So this is a Star Trek parody movie that released that is actually kind of a loving parody, not a mocking parody.
Mm-hmm. But it kicked its ass hard enough that it changed the Star Trek franchise forever.
And it's very... I picked this because I want something light, something funny, something, you know, of a good time, of you know, 2020 has been hard for all of us. And let's have something fun. So... I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I remember enjoying it. I do own it on DVD, so that's not a problem for me to watch. I don't know where to stream it. You know, that's up to you voting to figure it out, where to watch it, streaming or DVD or discs, whatever. But let's keep going here. The next movie is The Mummy, 1999 version.
Oh, yeah, this is the, I always joke, this is the Indiana Jones movie that kind of got away. This is also a great score. This is a fun movie. And I joke, I said it's proof positive that somebody else could play Indiana Jones. I mean, this is thumbs up. This is a awesomely fun movie, and it's a must see for everybody, really.
I must also say again, 1999. We're not talking the one that came out a couple years ago. We're not talking the one from the 30s or whatever.
Yeah, the one with Boris Karloff. No, or the one with Christopher Lee. Nope, we're talking about the 99, the one with Brendan Fraser.
I remember this coming out, and I don't know, for some reason I had like horror in my mind. I was thinking this was a horror movie when I came in, and then this is just a fun adventure movie, and I was like, I dig this.
Oh, there's a lot of horror in it too. Yes, you were like me. You're probably like me, a little too old to be spooked by the horror element of it.
Yeah, I remember the advertising, the commercials made it out to be a horror movie, which I don't know why I imagined that. I don't know, but I still dig it. I still think it's fun. I haven't watched this movie since 1999, so I look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next one on the list is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now, this is a pick from Miss Kristen. Um, I have seen this movie once, and I'm just gonna say it. I think it's boring. I don't like it.
Oh, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite Spielbergs. This is one that got really it be, this is one that got really trashed, and it 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 came out in theaters, and then it got horribly butchered, and it was God decades before it got restored.
Maybe rewatching it will make me like it more. I don't know, but I remember watching this on DVD and like this is slow, this is boring, and I'm not really caring about it. But maybe
Oh, it's parts of it are really leisurely paced. My favorite stuff in the movie is when Richard Dreyfuss is taking to not have a big spoiler, takes up arts and crafts. So people who've seen the movie will know what I'm talking about, and people who haven't will go, huh? And it won't spoil anything for them.
all right, let's keep going here. Hugo, which is the 3D movie from Martin Scorsese, and this is a great movie.
Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody listening to this, you should watch Hugo. Heck, you should watch all the stuff coming on this list. We didn't pick crap. We picked great stuff.
Yeah, there's no turds on this list that I think of. So Hugo, it definitely is a good like honor to movies in general. So, yeah, I definitely like Hugo. The next movie I picked, Time Machine. Now I picked this because I enjoyed it, and 2020 is kind of one of those things where I want to go back in time to see another year, and this came out on 2002, so it's 2020 in a different way.
Is this? Oh, this is the one with. This is the one with Guy Pearce and Thandie Newton.
Yes,
Okay, I haven't seen it since it came out in the theater.
I really digged it. I think it was a fun way to do this. I mean, it's some ways it's similar to the original concept, but it's also its own thing.
Yeah,
I don't remember people really loving it or hating it. They're just like it's fine. But hey, that's a good.
it's one of those movies. I think the people didn't know the actors because they weren't well known, but now they've gone on to become very well known.
So yeah, just an escapist movie, just to
Mm-hmm.
not think about stuff. Let's keep going here. We got quite a few more. How to Train Your Dragon, the first one, classic.
Yeah, great. Be interesting to revisit it to compare the animation to the last one to see how much it's evolved because it's been a while since I've seen the first one.
Yeah, and definitely one of the first animated movies that really hit 3D out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of animated movies, we have another one. Now, this is a weird one because it's a Christmas Carol, and we're going to record this in December 2020, and this is kind of this is a Christmas movie, and this is the one done with Jim Carrey, released in 2009, and with Zemeckis with motion capture, and I like this version a lot. It's the motion capture is weird, but I like it.
Yeah, it's it's not as off-putting as Polar Express.
Next up is 2001 A Space Odyssey. Now, this is a classic by Stanley Kubrick. It is a little bit slow, I'll give it that. And it's actually kind of weird that right now there's these weird monoliths popping up all around the world. And this movie has a monolith, and it's just kind of a weird foreshadowing. Maybe this will win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now you'll know why all those jokes with the music with the heavy drum. Yeah, watch this movie and you'll understand your memes about monolith.
So yeah, 2001 is slow, but it's a great, fantastic movie.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to the next movie, Home Alone, the original Macaulay Culkin 1990 comedy movie that took the world by storm. I love Home Alone. It's a great movie. It's awesome slapstick.
Yeah, and I love the little Christmas film noir little thing, animal. What is it?
You filthy animals.
Yeah,
It's fun.
that's hilarious. And this is where the marble gag that's been repeated in 1,000 movies and 1,000 books and 1,000 TV shows got launched from.
And the last movie on this list is Back to the Future, the first one.
Zemeckis at his, I always joke, this is peak Robert Zemeckis.
And it's one of those things where it's so hard to not watch the entire trilogy because it's all like so back to back,
But those of us who actually grew up when these came out, we had to wait years between them.
Yeah, and of course, the VHS had the, coming in part 2 and coming in part 3, and then like they took it out for the DVD and put it back in for the Blu-ray, but the story kind of like originally it wasn't actually meant to be, a sequel. It was just kind of a fun more adventures to come kind of thing, and then they're like, oh yeah, this made a ton of money, let's make a sequel for real. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's so much. This is just such a cool movie, and then of course there's so many stories about the filming, and don't look at me, I don't know a lot of them. I just consider myself a casual fan. I mean, I've seen it a lot of times. It's a great comedy series. The first one is particularly really good.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of goes down in quality each one, but they're still all enjoyable. Even though I don't love the third one, I still like it.
Yeah, I mean, I like them well enough that I've seen them several times, and we'll probably see them several more times, and can't wait for when they have flying hoverboards.
And last time I watched this was in 2015 or 2014 going to 2015 or January or New Year's Day 2015 or something, because the movie goes into the future in 2015 for the second one, and it was kind of fun to see what happens in the past now. But yeah, it's a fun movie. I definitely like it a lot. I've seen every single one of these movies. Now, some of these movies I haven't seen for years and years, and some of them I saw more recently. But yeah, we'll talk about this. You have to vote, and vote by December 13th, and it's ranked choice voting. So if you don't know what that means, we'll have a trailer for how ranked choice voting works on the link, and the link will be in the description, so you could just click it. It's not going to take very long. It'll take seconds to vote. Registration, no login. Anywhere in the world can vote. Anyone as well. We're not discriminating, so just vote. And you pick your top 3, and whoever gets the most wins. And it should be a fun time for all. And that's it for us. Bye.
Bye.
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D and Mr. Bengal 5 for your financial support on patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.